It is Christmas time. We're going to take a quick break from our Christmas antics to talk about something that dropped, I think, last week, right?
Last week, yeah.
Yeah, last week. We have talked long and hard about the DCU here on this here roundtable. By the way, that's Templar over there. I'm Chino. And we have waxed and waned on what the DCU actually means, and waxed and waned on James Gunn's new cinematic universe. And the Supergirl trailer dropped last week, and so I haven't watched it yet. I know Templar has, and so we're going to get my reactions, plus Templar's kind of unfiltered thoughts about it. Before we get there, I know that Supergirl showed up in Superman for just a brief, maybe 2 minutes at the very end. Spoiler, like, is that all she was in it? Did I miss something else in Superman that she was not in?
It wasn't even in the actual movie, was it? It wasn't not deleted scene, the after credit. Wasn't it an after credit scene?
Yeah, it was they were picking up the
like the 30-second after credit scene. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the dog was, and like the dog was a pretty integral part of that movie.
Yep.
I say integral, but really, I think the dog was Cosmo. Is that his name? He served Krypto. Yeah, he serves almost like a comic relief. Like he's like a better Jar Jar.
Ooh, that's.
But I mean, that's what Jar Jar was supposed to be, right? The comic relief.
Don't put that evil on that dog, man. That's not nice. That's not nice.
Hey, man, that's fine.
He's just the dog. I mean, he's a dog. Like, so yeah, he's just the kind of nice. You're supposed to be like, oh, look at the cute puppy, and yeah, he is part of the story. He is like an animal companion that you would get that actually can contribute a little bit because of his powers and whatever. But yeah, he's meant to lean into some of the funny moments. With that movie, didn't need more of that. But no. I still like the dog character is usually fun in something. So
yeah,
it's okay.
Well, today we wanted to screen the trailer with anybody that has not seen it, and we're also going to talk a little bit about it. So, anything to know about this trailer before we go into it? Obviously, this is DC. Could we just say DC and Netflix now? Is that how this is going to go at the bottom left-hand corner here? DC,
I guess so. Yeah. Warner Brothers, a Netflix production. I don't know. What are they gonna? Like, you'll just get both, right?
Yeah.
You'll just get Warner Brothers, and then you'll just get Netflix, I assume.
Yeah, it'll be,
or maybe not. Maybe let's do it. Warner Brothers is storied enough; they're not going to just fold it in, right? Like,
yeah.
It'll be like 20th Century Fox. Like 20th Century Fox still exists. It's just under Disney, right?
Yeah, and it's Universal, NBC Universal, and it's all of the conglomerate things now.
Sure.
All right.
Yes. So Warner Brothers, a Netflix company,
a Netflix joint. Let's watch Supergirl, and we will see after this.
You managed to get most of it on the paper this time. Good job, buddy. Cars are out. Hereby declare that 23 will be the best year yet. Let's be honest, babe, it's not a very high bar to clear.
I didn't know any of you were still alive. What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Krypton didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind. Okay, this does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
Do others on your planet have powers like you?
No, it's a pretty small group of two.
What Superman meant?
He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
All right. That's fine, I guess. What are your thoughts?
I was out on it at the beginning when I first saw the trailer, like the intro with the dog and on like the, peeing on the newspaper. And I was like, all right. But by the end, I would say it mostly won me over, not to the point where I'm like over the moon excited for it, but I am kind of hopeful for what it could be. I've heard some jokes about it that even though this one isn't written or directed by James Gunn, it seems like the most James Gunn movie in terms of feeling, like in terms of the trailer, at least. Like, a lot of people I saw calling it sort of Supergirl or Guardians of the Galaxy Supergirl or Supergirl of the Galaxy or, with whatever version of that joke you want to go with. And I think that vibe is certainly there. It's tough because I'm kind of split on it. Like in a vacuum, does it look amazing? No, I think like I hope it could be good. The trailer, I think, does enough that I'm kind of hopeful, but also I think I have a little bit of bias in that I'm a DC fan and like I just want to see some decent DC movies, and I just kind of hope this is one. Like I just hope it's decent. So I'm kind of split on it. Like I think it looks okay. I've seen some criticisms of the tone of it, that the kind of tone or the idea of this character has sort of been played out before this movie has even really come out. So I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it.
Here's a couple of things that are as interesting. John Cryer is Lex Luthor, which is that's a choice. Terry Hatcher and Dean Cain are both in it. So shout out Adventures. Or
They're going a different Lex. I thought assumed it would just be Nicholas Hoult, right? Isn't he just the Lex Luthor for the?
No, this is John Cryer is Lex Luthor.
It's odd. I wouldn't have thought they would go with a different, because I thought Nicholas Hoult was just going to be Lex going forward.
No, and Jimmy Olsen is McCad Brooks. Huh.
Is that right? I don't feel like they would have changed the cast that quickly from Superman in the summer, right?
This is straight from the horse's patoot right here. Supergirl, James Olsen, Jimmy Olsen. Oh, this is the CW cast. Hold on a second. We've got.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't think.
I'm looking at the wrong cast entirely because like Melissa Benoist, like I know what Melissa. How the heck is that happening? Hold on a second.
I was like, I was going to say, I don't think there's any way that they would change the cast that quickly. I don't even know if Lex Luthor is in it. Like, I don't even think he's in.
All right, here we go. This looks a little bit better. Millie Alcock is who we were looking for. Yes, thank you very much. All right. I can cut all that because I sounded stupid there. All right. I don't know any of these names. I know David Corenswet.
Yeah, although I don't know. He might appear briefly, but I don't expect Superman to be a big part of this movie. I mean, maybe he will be, but I wouldn't think so.
I know Elias Knoll. I've seen him before in Sandman.
I think it's mostly unknown kind of characters. Like, I don't think it's
in Silo.
Like, I don't think it's going to be a lot of characters that people are really familiar with. I mean, David Krumholtz is great. I don't know who he's playing. Oh, he's Zor-El. Oh, okay, so he's that's Cal's father, right?
The dad, yeah.
Zor-El.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I like him a lot. He's a good actor. Shadow Bernard.
Bernard from Santa Claus. Heck yeah.
Yeah. He was great in Oppenheimer a couple of like 2 years ago. So
yes, he was.
I don't know. I want it to be good. Part of what interested me about talking about this movie is the movie, but also the larger conversation around the DC universe. That there seems like a decent contingent of people who just want this to be dead. And like, it's one where we've talked previously about, you've mentioned him. I think I've talked about him, that there's a contingent of people Like the critical drinker is someone that you've mentioned a few times.
Yep.
And he and his whole like group seem like they just want to crucify this whole thing before, like, and just really are slamming it. It's one of the times I actually kind of disagree with him. And maybe again, that's just my bias that I want some decent DC movies. So I don't really want this to just kind of be dead on arrival. I don't know. The tone of it, I think, has been done. If it's just a Guardians movie, that might be fun, but that's also something people are probably tired of. So I don't know what exactly we're going to get from it. Obviously, I mean, this opening image is just trying to make it seem like this isn't a Superman movie, right? Like,
I mean,
this
it's
is
literally peeing on Superman.
Yeah, it's very on the nose.
Literally on his nose. Here's the thing, like, yeah, there's Superman right there. My initial reaction is that this feels like a Guardians of the Galaxy. This feels like Guardians 2, where was it Guardians 2? No, this feels like Thor: Love and Thunder. Or not Love and Thunder. The second Thor where they met up with my gosh, it is Love and Thunder, isn't it? No, it's not Love and Thunder. What is the Thor where they are on the other planet?
Ragnarok.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok. That's what this feels like, is Thor Ragnarok. Like, with all of this sort of like, we're on this other planet type of thing. Like, there's this gun stuff happening. There's like, we're talking about the gods, you know, that it just feels very much like that. And like, I guess that's fine. I don't know. This doesn't excite me at all. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I watch this as just like okay, I'll wait for this to come out on streaming. It'll be on Netflix. So we can watch it on Netflix. I didn't personally like the new Superman. I don't follow the critical drinker like, yo, we're going to tear down DC. Like, it needs to be redone because there's some good characters in the DC universe. But I don't, even the quippy, like, what was it? Like, this is going to be a bad time for you. It's like, oh, we're doing that? Really? Like, that's what we're going to land on? Like, that's what you chose to do? I mean, you could have made this a different trailer, and maybe they couldn't have made it a different trailer because maybe that's just everything that this is. I don't know. I don't want to sound negative. It's just, this does not excite me at all. Like, I this all just feels very much just like fluff, and Jason Momoa shows up right there.
I mean, I don't know. I hope it's good. He's perfect for Lobo, and he's been wanting to play Lobo. So I don't know how big of a role he'll have in the movie, but I think Lobo is exactly what he's good at, which is being like a tough, cool guy. And that's Lobo's vibe, who's like chill, but he's not really intense because he's invincible. So he can just kind of just be chill about everything, but he's like a major threat. So it's
how much have you followed Supergirl? Like, did you watch the CW
I
show?
don't know.
Okay.
I don't know any. I don't like. I know I've seen this character a little bit in other animated DC stuff where she shows up usually as part of a Superman or a Batman story. That's about it. One thing that does give me a little bit of hope is this apparently is based on a comic. It's called Woman of Tomorrow or something that apparently was very well liked. And also the creator of that comic was heavily involved with the movie. So that gives me some hope that maybe at least it'll be faithful to that, which I guess was well liked. But yeah, I will say that I agree in terms of the quippiness that kind of humor has gotten tiresome. And I hope that James Gunn can kind of pivot. And because when it comes to Superman, I think that is a movie that was less than the sum of its parts.
Ooh.
Generally, when we talk about movies, we talk about them being greater than the sum of its parts. I think it's the opposite. I think the parts that go into that movie are all pretty good. Like, I like almost all of the casting. I think there's a lot of great stuff there. And I think the movie just kind of lets the pieces down, the components down. So that does give me hope that if they can pivot a little bit in terms of the tone, that there actually could be something here. Because I like David Corenswet as Superman. I think, what's her name? Brosnahan is good as Lois Lane.
Yep.
Rachel Brosnahan. I like Nicholas Hoult. Like, I like a lot of the pieces. And I think if they can lean more into the sincerity of the character rather than, which the movie did at times, but lean more into that and away from this type of humor that is not is getting old. People are tired of it. I think there's something there. So I like a lot of the components, and I never watched House of the Dragon, so I don't know. But I know Millie Alcock got a lot of good sort of reviews from that. Like, I think she was pretty well liked in that. So I think and from the trailer, like, she looks fine. It's just the question is how much can they make you kind of like this character and what has become a bit of a played out archetype, which is like the damaged, they're partying because of their trauma, and like over the movie we're going to see them like tap into more of what they dealt with, and like, you know, it's about the friends we made along the way, like, and you know, whatever, right? Like it looks, even from the trailer, like a fairly typical story that we've seen. Again, like, I'm a fan of DC. I like DC characters, so I would like to see them get some hits and make some movies, because I want to see like a good Green Lantern Corps or Green Lantern movie. I want to see like a good Supergirl movie. I want to see another Superman movie that's good. Like, and I like a lot of the other stuff they've done on TV. So they've had some wins. It's just like, I don't know, but like the discourse around this movie, and maybe it is just the tone and that it's James Gunn, so he's doing a lot of stuff he's done before, or it is like superhero fatigue. But I feel like people are just kind of ready to be done with the whole thing when we've talked about it, when I think generally speaking, like the majority of what they've done has been pretty good, at least on TV. Like Creature Commandos was great. Suicide Squad 2021 I thought was really fun. Peacemaker was really fun. Like they've mostly been good. It's like the most mediocre thing, unfortunately, they've done is Superman. But basically everything else in this universe, I think, has been better than that and been quite good. So the fact that everyone just kind of wants it, or not everyone, but it seems like a decent contingent of people who just want it to be dead, I think is kind of unfortunate. And maybe that's just the reality of where we're at in terms of Hollywood or the superhero genre. But again, I'm hopeful that something can come out of it, and it's a little more interesting than this trailer would lead you to believe. I mean, obviously it's a while. It doesn't come out until June, I think. So there's some time for another trailer that maybe is a little more interesting, maybe leans more into the kind of sincerity, makes you like the character a little bit more. I don't know.
You know, I always wonder, how can Supergirl get drunk? She's a superhero, like she's of the super. Like I wouldn't think that alcohol would affect you. Now maybe this is special Krypton alcohol. Who knows? So there's that. But the second thing, I like, as watching this, it seems. I have to back up a little bit. My youngest son and I have spent the last 3 months every Tuesday night. When we don't have small group, we will watch an X-Men movie. We've been going through all of the X-Men chronologically, not story chronologically, but like release order.
Release, sure, yeah.
And there's some utter trash in there. There's some good stuff in there, but there's some just absolute trash in there. Like right now, we're stuck on Rise of the Phoenix, Dark Phoenix. Sorry. And
I never even saw that one.
Yeah,
I didn't watch that one.
We're halfway through it, and last night we were going to eat dinner together and watch a movie, and I looked at him and like, we have Dark Phoenix, and he goes, can we just watch something else? And I was like, sure. And he picked out the first Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I was like, okay, cool. It's a better movie. But the point is like, we've been in superhero land for 6 months now, and maybe it's just me, but I'm tired of the Thing. I'm not tired of superheroes. I like superhero movies, but I'm just tired of the formula. Like I can't really think. I know everyone's like, oh, we're doing this one differently. Like Supergirl is going to be different, but I just watched your trailer and it does not look anything different than any of those other things. It feels like a Marvel movie to me, and that it's a Marvel movie with different color correction. Like it's less bright than a Marvel movie, or less saturated than a Marvel movie. That's about it. And, you know, I'm not discounting it. I'm sure, again, you and I will watch it. You and I will talk about it again. You and I will talk about the next trailer when it comes out. It'll probably be less heart. Call me, call the Heart song. It'll be like a Johnny Cash remake, like slow and painful, and I hurt myself today. It'll be one of those, and it'll be like super somber and super reflective, and it'll be a different trailer and a different thing. And like, I don't know, I'm just calling the formula right now.
That would be better. I mean, leaning into that side of it would be better.
Yeah,
because I think leaning into the sincerity is the way to go. Because people are tired of the quippy Marvel humor. People are just done with it, and I kind of need people to read the room here. Like, read the room, James. Like, we don't need that, and DC doesn't lend itself to that anyway.
No,
so like, don't try to force it. Like, Creature Commandos had a good balance of humor. It wasn't super quippy. There was a little bit of it, but it wasn't tiring. And they went for a different style of humor. Obviously, that's a much darker show than this is going to be, where this needs to be more PG-13. And that was a much more adult sort of show. So it's not a one-to-one comparison, but DC lends itself to be, you can make something straightforward and sincere and serious, not deathly so, but like serious, without being Zack Snyder. Like, you don't have to. Everything doesn't have to either be joke. We have to undercut every serious moment, or like super dark. We're gonna crank down the saturation on everything, and everything is gray or brown, and we're in Zack Snyder's Justice League. There is a middle ground there that DC, I think, fits into better than Marvel does. And now, I'm not an expert on Marvel comics, but at least compared to the way the Marvel cinematic universe went, like DC, I think, lends itself to that sort of tone, but you have to hit it. Like, so I don't know. Again, I just want this to be decent. I'm kind of hopeful. I hope at the very least it's kind of just a fun adventure movie. I can live with it if that's all it is. But I hope it has a little bit more than that, because I think you can do something interesting, because we haven't seen on film, at least, the stuff with Krypton of the like city that was saved or like protected and they went somewhere else, and then so that experience of like this slice of Krypton that was left over, basically where she lived, like that hasn't been on screen. I think that's been in some of the animated stuff, but not in live action. So I'm interested to see that. I think there's some interesting stuff you could do with that, and again, lean into the sincerity of it and what she's been through, and don't just make it where she's just like a frat girl for half the movie.
Yep, I agree with that. Also, that this headline just caught my Sanderson hit 50 million copies sold on Kindle. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. 50 million at $10 a pop. That's a lot. That's a lot of million. That's $500 million made just on Brandon Sanderson books alone. Good job, Sanderson. You did it, buddy. We're not talking about that though, but good job. And that's just quick, like back of the, I paid $20 for Wind and Truth, Fire and Rain, Wind and Truth, Sword and Shield, Pokemon Sword and Shield, whatever the latest one was. So anyway, we should probably talk about that at some point. But anything else on Supergirl before we beat it to death, and before we have to wait for another trailer to actually make up our minds about what this thing actually is?
No, I think I said my piece anyway, unless you have something else on it.
Are you overall, are you excited to see the movie? Just from that one trailer, would you be excited to see the trailer, or excited to see the movie?
Like a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Like,
that's how I'm feeling too.
Like, it looks fine. I think, again, I like a lot of the pieces they have in place with the DC Universe stuff. They just have to get the tone of the movies right, which I've said a million times already on this episode. But like, that's the key to me. Like, that's what would keep this going and not have it just fall, like, have the same death as the MCU is sort of, maybe not death, but there's been a contraction in the interest back down to whoever maybe are just like kind of real hardcore fans, or like the real kind of core fans of the MCU. That's what's there, and the movies still do okay. So maybe the direction, and I've heard that talked about as well, is the direction superhero movies going forward is more just contraction to something like a Deadpool budget level, or like, you know, that the budgets basically just need to get small enough where this new normal in terms of what these movies can make, you know, it kind of balances out. Because if the movie costs $250 million, it needs to make like $1 billion, or else you're not making any money. So like Superman did fine, but it cost so much money that, you know, it didn't really make a ton of money for the studio. And I don't know what this movie cost, but judging from the looks of it, a lot. So will it make that? I don't know. Anyway, but that's getting off topic. But yeah, I like a lot of the pieces. She looks good in the trailer.
Yes.
I think she'll be solid.
Yes.
I am hopeful for Jason Momoa as Lobo. I think he could be cool. And I think a lot of people have been wanting to see Lobo in something for a while. So that also might be neat. And if it does well, they would probably, I'm sure, do a solo movie. But so yeah, 6 out of 10. I have a lot of concerns, but there's enough kind of hope there that I've already outlined. So.
Okay. I would agree with you on the 6 out of 10. We will be back, I'm sure, like I said, to talk about another trailer. Stay tuned. Next week, we are going to be closing down the year, reviewing the top 5 things that we have watched this year. And that's both movies and television. So you do not want to miss that one. Until then, dang it, I pointed the wrong way. Sorry about that. That's Templar over there. I'm Chino. We love you. We'll see you next time.